Okay, guys, I'm gonna be doing a top 15 GBA games for me. And yeah, so 15 is going to be The Legend of Zelda Minish Cap. Okay. I'm not gonna go into detail about these, so just. Okay. Final Fantasy 6 Advance, number 14. Alright. Alright, Breath of Fire 2, 13. Alright. Final Fantasy 4, 12. Oh, Final Fantasy 4 Advance, actually. Alright. Harry Potter, The Prisoner of Azkaban, number 11. Okay. Number 10, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. Okay. Number 9, Dragon Ball Z Buus Fury. Or Buus Fury? No, Buus Fury. 8, WarioLand 4. Okay. 7, Dragon Ball Z Legacy of Goku 2. Okay. 6, Lufia, The Ruins of Lore. Okay, now I'm going to go into a little detail about these top 5, since we're getting down to them. Okay, Metroid Fusion. This game is really awesome, okay? It's, believe it or not, it's actually the sequel to Super Metroid. And you play as Samus Aran, and you go through, like, you have, like, this one area, main area that you are in, and, you know, from there, you go from, like to the other areas in the game, and sometimes, you know, sometimes the areas connect with each other, you know. Alright, so that's Metroid Fusion. Pretty cool game. Pretty cool game. But difficult final boss, I have to say. Alright. Lunar Legend. Oh, yes. This game is a great game. I love it. It is a tad on the easy side, but it's... I think it was pretty damn good for a game. Yeah, basically it's like a turn-based game. It's not all like Lunar 1 for the PS1, but it's somewhat like it. Like, well, the bosses don't build levels on your levels, that's for one. That's the one thing I actually liked about this game. That the bosses didn't. Even though the bosses are still kind of hard, but yeah, this game has some nice music and some nice turn-based battles and a lot of talk. Alright, so that's Lunar Legend. Great game. Alright, Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance, number 3. Oh boy, this Castlevania game. You know, the one thing I really love about this Castlevania game is that you can go through it in a way where you won't have to go through an area a second time. And that's one of the reasons why I love this game so much. Other than that, well, the weapons are actually kind of nice, and the difficulties, you know, it's actually pretty easy, but there are 2 hard bosses. You know, somewhat hard bosses. And the graphics, well, you know, this is a GBA game. I mean, I don't know what you expect for graphics here. You know, graphics doesn't really bother me all that much, although the character model could have been a bit better. You know, Just. But Just is actually one of the cooler Belmonts out there, in my opinion, so let's just move on to the next one. Alright. So that's number 3, Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance. Great game. Mother 3. Well, I'm sorry this is a DS box cover here, but I couldn't find a Game Boy Advance box cover. This game is so awesome. When I plugged this game in to my ROM or to my emulator, I was like, holy Jesus, this game is so much better than Earthbound. Well, that's what this is. This is actually like Earthbound 2. Okay? Mother 3 equals Earthbound 2. Alright? And this game is a great game. It's actually bigger. Okay? It's not just bigger, but there's more stuff you can do in it. And I think just the things you can do throughout the game is just better than what you can do in Earthbound. And it's not as hard as Earthbound. Okay? So this sequel was definitely a much, much better sequel. I'm trying not to spoil story here, though. For those of you who haven't played still. Alright, so yes, this is a great game. Definitely a must-buy if it ever does come to the DS. I would actually get it. If they were to put in extras, I would get it. You know? If it were to come to the DS. Okay. I don't really want to spoil any of the stories, so we're gonna move on to the #1 GBA game, Shining Soul 2. Yes, this game is awesome, reeks of awesomeness. But why? Well, let me tell you something. When they made the first Shining Soul game, I was like, wow, this isn't like, you know, spectacular or anything, but it's like a step. But then I would say like maybe a year or a year and a half later, they made Shining Soul 2. This is Atlas, by the way, and Sega. Yeah, they made Shining Soul 2. And this game was an action role-playing game done very, very, very well, okay? For one, the one thing you can do in this game that makes you want to play through the game is get these little bestiary cards, okay? And what they do is just, I mean, it's basically just looking at the enemy stats, okay? I mean, it's not just that, like, the way you get like magic defense is by actually getting hit. Yeah, that's kind of strange, huh? Well, it does work though. I mean, if you make it work, it does work. And the music is actually pretty good. You know, I don't think I have any complaints about the music whatsoever. You can choose between 8 characters in the game, and it's multiplayer if you play the Game Boy Advance version. Alright. Another thing is there's this place in the game where you can combine items to make better items, and it will take you a long time to get some of the best summons in the game, because you can also get summons as well. And yeah, pretty much it's a point and click to an area kind of game as well. You know, kind of like the Grandia games, and what else? What other kind of games were like it? I think Saga was like that for the PS2. But yeah, this is definitely an action game. Yeah, and it's also one of those games where you have like a base. But the base is like a castle. You know, you just basically come back to the castle and buy up more items, stronger equipment. Alright. I mean, there's not really much for a story for this game, but it's definitely, you know, it's definitely a great game. It might not be perfect, but I think it definitely deserves #1. Okay? Well, guys, I just want to say thank you for watching my top 15 Game Boy Advance games. And I hope that you come and check out my top 30 movies, which should be next. I'm not sure. So thank you for watching this video.